Mr. Warren. Single-payer healthcare has been part of the Massachusetts Democratic Party platform for a number of years, and yet the Medicare for All bill never makes it out of committee. What could you do as governor to ensure that the Medicare for All legislation is passed by the Senate legislature?
Well, as I said in my opening, I believe very strongly we need single-payer here or Medicare for All. Look, there's some good things about healthcare in the state of Massachusetts. We got about 98% of the people that have some sort of insurance. We have some of the best innovations and doctors here. People come from all around the world. We want to retain those. The issue with the second most highest state as far as costs. This is why what I believe we cannot do is continue down the road we are on with Charlie Baker. And that is having some of the most vulnerable people shoulder those costs through co-pays, lowering deductibles, making it more expensive. This is a solution down in Washington, the Republicans down there, Donald Trump. This is a solution of Charlie Baker. We need to reduce costs through reducing administrative costs and drug costs. This is where we should find the savings. I believe in direct engagement. I did 70 town halls as a mayor, as a chief executive when I first became mayor to get an override package passed. And I asked my residents to hold me accountable as well as the city councilors to improving public safety, education, and infrastructure. I would do the same thing if you elect me your governor. I would be here on the ground, engaging you, and I'd ask for you all to hold us accountable. I understand this is complicated, and I understand it is hard. It is not going to be a scenario where you put a key in and you turn it and all of a sudden magically it happens. This is going to be difficult, complicated work, but we need the political will in the governor's office to push this through, engage our residents so we can do something about it. And I'll finally end. I've talked to a lot of people around the country about this issue, including the former governor of Vermont, Pete Shumlin, who I've been talking to and getting some advice. They were working on putting a single payer in place. It didn't work out. There are a lot of lessons we can learn from folks around the country. I think we have the best chance to do it right here in Massachusetts.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Massey.
Thank you. I just want to say I've been thinking and working on this issue for more than 30 years, and I'll give you some sense of why in a second. But the important thing here is that the ideal would be to move forward at the federal level. The idea of Medicare for All is correct, and we could do that by opening Medicare up steadily. But that's not going to happen under this president. So we need to explore methods, for example, opening up Medicaid, which is partially funded by the state, and offering benefits through Medicaid. We also have the opportunity to pull the folks together. This is something I would like to emphasize. My career has been bringing people together who do not agree and focusing them on a difficult goal, and then having the combination of diplomatic skills and forcefulness to make sure that we achieve this. Now, we have 10 nonprofit insurance companies. We have one for-profit insurance company. They are going to need to be brought in and then steadily pressured and invited to help solve this problem. Now, I just want to share with you why I am personally so passionate about this. Some of you have heard this story. I was born with a serious chronic illness, genetic illness called hemophilia that causes bleeding in your joints. I lost the ability to walk at the age of 4. I was in leg braces and a wheelchair for my whole childhood. And the reason I'm now able to walk is because when I was 12 years old, my parents moved to France, and we discovered that their commitment to healthcare as a right meant that I would be covered under their system of single payer and national health insurance, which enabled me to get access to the expensive medical products that I needed to get back on my feet and get rid of those braces and get rid of the wheelchair. So I understand, I think, as well or better than anyone, how difficult and complicated a fight this is. But this commitment has been bred into my bones. I would not be standing anywhere if I were not, had not been, in many ways, liberated by the commitment to national health insurance and single payer. And just to finish up, this is one of the rights that Franklin Roosevelt talked about. Not just because it's equal and it's fair and compassionate, because we need to be free as citizens. And one of the most crippling things is to have a serious illness or not have access to health care. And I've had conversations rising premiums and their higher costs, here in Western Mass particularly. So I just want to say this, I think I have the experience and the skill and the determination to make this a reality, but I'll only be able to do it with your support today, in the election, and then afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you.
So access to healthcare is a fundamental human right, in my view. Every single person should have access to the healthcare services they need to be as healthy as they can be. The system we have today does not give everybody access to the services they need. The system we have today is way too complicated for people to navigate. We've all experienced that in our personal lives. It is way too expensive. It is not financially sustainable over time. And the quality, honestly, isn't as good as it should be. We're great at the really high-end stuff. If you have a very sick child who needs to go to Boston Children's Hospital, we're just okay on the regular day-to-day care. We need to do better. We need to do better for people. I'm the only candidate in this race that has experience in the healthcare industry. When I worked in state government as Governor Patrick's Secretary of Administration and Finance, I was the chair of the board of the Health Connector and helped implement Massachusetts health reform successfully here. I did that for 3.5 years. When I left the Patrick administration, I was CEO of a health insurance company that covered low-income people in the Medicaid program here and in New Hampshire. And I saw firsthand, as CEO of this company, all the problems that we had, despite our best efforts, getting a lot of our low-income members access to the services they needed because it was Medicaid. So I know our system. I know all the different players in our system. And I will tell you, every additional second I spent working in our healthcare system, the more discouraged I got with how dysfunctional it is. I believe moving to a single-payer system is the best way to get to a simpler, cheaper, financially sustainable, better quality system. Let me give you one example of why I think we can cut out a lot of costs by moving to a single-payer system. At my health insurance company, I was very proud of a lot of the ways in which we helped our members access care. Most of what we did, though, was facilitate useless, valueless transactions. We had a whole team of people that would go out and contract with every doctor and hospital in the state, negotiating contracts. A whole team of people that get those contracts and put them in our IT systems so we would pay the bills correctly. We inevitably screw some of that up, so we had a whole team of people that would work to fix all the screw-ups. Every single health plan has all those teams of people. Every single hospital and doctor has teams of people to deal with all these teams of people. And there's a factoid out there that Toronto General Hospital has 4 billing people, Mass General has 450. I would not be surprised. This is wasteful. It's inefficient spending. We need to invest in providing people to access to the care they need. I think single payer is the best way there. We need to do it thoughtfully and carefully. We need leadership who understands the industry to do it. And I believe that I bring the experience and background to get us to a single payer system as quickly and as thoughtfully as we can.
Thank you. The next question goes first to Mr. Massey. With the passage of laws like the 2008 Global Warming Solutions Act, Massachusetts became a leader in the nation by making a commitment to reduce climate change emissions by 80% by the year 2050. What specifically do you think we can realistically achieve by 2030? And if you become governor, would you embrace the goal of 100% renewable energy by 2050? And if so, how would you propose getting there?
Well, that is what you call in politics a softball question for me. Because for 25 years, I have worked steadily on climate change and on energy transition in this country. I was the first person to organize a major meeting on climate change at the Boston Museum of Science, attended by 300 leaders in April of 1992. And I've been working on it ever since. I have run climate change organizations. I ran a group called Ceres, which brought investors and activists together to push businesses to move forward. I founded something called the Investor Network on Climate Risk, which brought pension funds forward. Now, let's first identify why we are not making progress. We are not making progress because Governor Baker has put fossil fuel advocates into the positions of power, and they are advocating for and continuing our dependence on fossil fuel. The Department of Public Utilities is led by a woman who was formerly the chief lobbyist for fossil fuel energy companies. We have the system called ISO, which reinforces our commitment to fossil fuel. I have a plan right here called Bold Leadership for Clean Renewable Energy, and I'm going to ask one of my friends and supporters here to pass it around. So, yes, I know you're going to want to read it, but please pass it around. There are 22 specific suggestions that we can do, and let me mention 7 of them. We need to end utility control of the utilities, which we have today. We have to provide, we have to rearrange our incentives. We have to eliminate the caps on solar, which we have. We have to advance our commitment to wind energy. This governor has said we'll get there in 10 years. I want to reverse all of those things. I want to move forward with a whole series of specific actions. The governor should be driving an electric car to encourage it. I have an electric car parked out in the driveway. I've been driving all over Massachusetts. And so I just want to suggest that this is something that is not only vital for the survival of the planet, and boy, if that isn't a reason to act, I don't know what is, but also it's the greatest economic opportunity in the history of Massachusetts. We can be generating, we are spending $20 billion bringing fossil fuel into the state. We could, at full build-out, begin an exporter, not paying $20 billion, keeping that for our families, lowering our family energy bills, lowering the cost for small business, lowering the cost for municipalities, and actually, in addition, generating revenue for the state. It is crazy that we are falling so far behind the rest of the world. We need to stop that, and it's one of the reasons that I believe we can act, we must act, and this is the reason why I have been endorsed by Bill McKibben, who I helped build the fossil fuel divestment movement because I have been an expert on the South African divestment movement. This is an action we can take and we must take for not only for our current economic benefit, but to save the planet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look, I'm 100% committed to the 2050 goal of 100% renewables for sure. How do we get there? I look at what we've been able to do in 8 years as mayor. I look at this question of climate change as not just in dealing with the issue of climate change itself, but as a social justice issue at the same time. It is. So, a couple of things we did. I'm really proud of the fact that we cut our carbon footprint in half as a municipality since I've been mayor because of the work we've done on reducing energy consumption as well as solar. We shared some of that solar power from our municipal property to 900 of our lowest income residents in the city of Newton to give them an energy credit. This is a really first of its kind, innovative solution that I'm proud of. Newton has the second highest number of millionaires in the state, 1 in 8 in our residents live at or below the poverty level. This is a way to address economic inequality. If we scale programs like this up, we can create green jobs if we invest in offshore wind, if we invest in renewable energy technologies. We can actually provide a ladder for people that need it right here in the state. Last, if you looked at the news and you saw the flooding that occurred on the Cape and in Boston, if you don't need to see the evidence, if you need to see evidence, just look at what happened over the last few days as far as climate change. We need to invest in climate change resilience technologies as well as renewable energy. So what would I do? I would meet the targets, but I would make smart investments so that we can protect the Commonwealth, be a world leader, address economic inequality, and give a real foundation for everyone across the Commonwealth in every region, including this one.
Climate change is the biggest threat to our planet. We need leadership on this issue. I do agree with setting the ambitious goal of 100% reduction by 2050, if not sooner. I think some of what we need to do to get there is accelerate our transition to renewable energy sources. Our current governor's been slow walking that, thanks to the appointees he's made that Bob referenced. I think we need to stop all expansion of natural gas pipeline infrastructure that's just furthering our I think if we can't get our surrounding states to join us in this, we should be the first state in the nation to adopt carbon pricing, which all economists agree would be an important incentive to accelerating our transition to renewable energy, to a clean energy economy. And I also think, to the point my colleagues mentioned, this is a huge opportunity for us. We could create thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs right here in Massachusetts if we're intentional about it. Governor Patrick used to say, we could make the world our customer in the clean energy sector. He's right. We could be the world's power plug to the world's green energy economy if we have leadership and are intentional about it. We have all the assets right here in Massachusetts, all the great academic institutions, including in this area, financial capacity, venture capital funding, and other assets to be the world's leader in creating jobs to support what is going to be one of the fastest growing industries in the world in the next couple of decades. We need leadership like we had from Governor Patrick on the Life Sciences Initiative, which I was participated in, was chair of that board of the Life Sciences Center for 6 years, where we played a role in facilitating the growth of an industry that has made us the world's leader in the life sciences industry. We should do the same thing in the clean energy sector. It's a huge opportunity for us. We need leadership that's going to recognize, we need to work with a sense of urgency to take on climate change and reduce emissions to get to a true clean energy economy, and who's going to make sure that we are the world's leader in creating jobs in this sector.